We are live. Let's make sure everything is running correctly, that we're on the right mic. Let's see if we're on the right camera. We are good to go. Peace, everyone. I hope all is well. I hope what's today, Monday or Tuesday? I hope your Tuesday is going well. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I greatly appreciate the support. It really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you all out there. Let's get some more people into the chat room. Again, let's get some more people into the chat room. Before we get started, as always, we have a couple of announcements. Announcement number one. Announcement number one. We are rolling to Senegal. We are rolling to Senegal. We are rolling May 12th to the 22nd. May 12th to the 22nd for the St. Louis Senegal Jazz Festival. Well, really, it's the St. Louis Jazz, or St. Louis, I'm sorry. I think that's how they pronounce it. In That's how they pronounce it in French. St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis. And in English is St. Louis. So the St. Louis Jazz Festival in Senegal, we are rolling May 12th to the 22nd, May 12th to the 22nd. If you are interested in joining us, please visit Donfo, Danfo, Donfo, Danfo.Africa. We will love to have you. We will love to host you. We're going to have a great time. Again, please visit Donfo, Danfo.Africa. We are also rolling to Nigeria for the Oshun Festival, August 4th to the 13th. August 4th to the 13th. Come and join us in Osogbo. It will also be in Lagos as well. So come and join us in Nigeria for the Oshun Festival. We will love to have you all. You know, these festivals you have to experience. Again, you have to experience these festivals. So come and join us. If you have not bought the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, now just give me a second. If you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, please visit searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Let me read these comments. Armando Rochez, we can't employ the brother. That's why artists don't care about what we say. If they get dropped, we have black folk, nothing to offer. Oh, you know, I was gonna bring that up. Like, what's Black Hollywood gonna do? So they see what's going on with Jonathan Majors. It's obviously wrong what happened to him. I mean, thank you. We can't employ the brother. There we go. So I was when I was thinking about this topic last night, I was saying to myself, what can Black excellence, Black Hollywood do? I mean, can they stand up for the brother? Because what is happening to Jonathan Majors? I don't care what the race of his girlfriend was. An injustice is an injustice. It's wrong. All right. But I was wondering, you know, can Black Hollywood get involved in making sure that this brother does not lose the opportunities that he had lined up, including Disney and Marvel? But I think, is it Disney owned by, is it, yeah, does it Disney own Marvel? Well, I don't know. But the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, please visit searchforuhuru.com. Please visit searchforuhuru.com and buy a copy of the documentary. It's live streamed, so once you buy it, you set up a login, and you can log in and watch it on any device. All right, let's jump into today's topic. In fact, I'm gonna start off with somebody's calling me. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just respond. Please text. Please text. Sorry about that. Okay. So we'll start off with the free sales training. Since my sales career has been a topic of discussion lately, I'm going to start offering free sales training. That'll be my way of giving back. Again, since my sales career has been a topic of discussion lately, I'm going to start offering free sales training, and that will be my way of giving back to the community. So be on the lookout for details. I'll probably send an email out tomorrow. In fact, I will send an email out tomorrow letting everybody know the time and day once a week of these sales training. So me, I have twice, 2 times I have finished in the top 5 for 2 Fortune 500 companies, in the top 5% for 2 Fortune 500 companies in sales, Aflac Corporation and Cintas Corporation, and I have the trophies to prove it. So with that being said, with Aflac, it was for life insurance. Cintas, it was sales, facility services. I was actually number 1 in the country, and I have the trophies to prove it. So again, since people want to talk about my sales career, I'm like, listen, let me offer a free service where I will give free sales training, and also we get to discuss corporate America, work. If you're having any issues on the job in regards to getting a promotion, upward mobility, raises, let me know. I did all right in corporate America. I did okay in corporate America. So we'll start that probably this week because it's only Tuesday, maybe Thursday or Friday mornings, for an hour. I'll open up the lines. You guys can call in, ask me any question you want to in regards to corporate America or work in general, how to get a sales job, what employers look for when hiring, how to tighten up your resumes. I know a thing or two. So we'll start dynamic sales training once a week for free, and it's my way of giving back to the community. All right, let's jump into Jonathan Majors. I want to start off with this video. I want to start off with this video. Here we go. The surveillance video. This is crazy. All right, fair use, everybody. Fair use. I'm just giving my commentary. Fair use. So this is Jonathan and his girl in this SUV right here, getting out of the SUV, and allegedly his girl I guess Jonathan received the text message allegedly from Megan Good, and his girl saw it. So his girl grabbed the phone from him, and he's fighting to get the phone back. And this is where it escalated right here. Love you too. So that's them getting out of the car. I think they were fighting over the phone here. And Jonathan runs. He runs. He's running from his girl. He's avoiding confrontation. Like he's avoiding confrontation. He's doing the right thing. They usually have moral clause in their contracts. But what did he do that was morally wrong in this situation? Like, what was he doing that was wrong in this situation? That's the question. He was A, getting back his property that was wrongfully taken from him, and B, avoiding conflict. He didn't hit her. He didn't swing on her. And he was trying to get away and avoid confrontation. So because of this right here, Jonathan Majors is going to miss out on millions of dollars. And we'll get into why in a second. So he's running. So I guess he got. I'm guessing he got his phone back, and he's running away from her because she's chasing him. I guess to get the phone back. That's what I'm assuming. Running. Look like she about to get hit by a damn car. Still running. Still running. She's tired. She walking now. So this is the entrance to their condo, I believe. So Jonathan's about to come out. For what? I don't know. So she's telling her side of the story, probably lying like hell, trying to play the victim. Okay, there goes Jonathan. Stay away from me. He's doing the right thing. He's doing what you're supposed to do. There you go. Stay away from me. Here she comes, still chasing him. Okay, I think this is separate. I think this is a separate confrontation. So from my understanding, I guess she got sick or something and went crazy, had an episode and stripped butt naked. So Jonathan went upstairs to cover her up, and the police is there, and yeah, it was all bad. There she is, laid out in the closet, butt naked. Yeah. Just having I don't know. So Jonathan, yeah, 30 million gone. More than that, because Sim Police, you have to take into consideration endorsement deals. Hell, the Kang, Marvel, Disney action figures. You know, the licensing deals. So it's more. It's more than 30 million. It's more than 30 million that he's losing out on. We'll round it up to 40 or 50 million. And he had, he had his career was promising. He had a ton of potential. I mean, Creed, he did Granted Creed 3. I'm not sure what other movies he was in, but I remember Creed 3. I remember Creed 3. He did a great job at Creed 3. Because I didn't watch Lovecraft and all the other movies or TV shows that he was in. But it's unfortunate. And what did he do wrong? She took his personal property. He had the right to get it back, which he did. And then he fled. He avoided conflict. So he kept from putting himself in a position. His attorney didn't represent him right. These are the facts, and he should have been cleared easily. In fact, she should have been charged. She should have been charged. If I'm removing myself from the situation and avoiding conflict, and you're chasing me down, trying to put me in a situation where I might trying to instigate conflict, that I'm sure there's a law where that is illegal, or you could be charged for that. It's NY. What do you expect? Yeah, listen, brothers and sisters, y'all got to get the hell out of LA and New York. You guys got to get the hell out of LA and New York. Because in LA, that's where they passed the Cosby law. No, they found him guilty. They found him guilty.
Don't keep yourself.
Fair use. Fair use. No, he has the right to get his property back. If someone steals my property, all right, I have the right to go and get my property back.
In the dark like this guy, Lumen. Brilliant men's skincare solutions.
Turn to a verdict in the Jonathan Majors case. The actor was found guilty of misdemeanor assault and harassment for attacking his ex-girlfriend and then promptly dropped by Marvel Studios. Our senior investigative correspondent, Eric Koturski, is here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Michael. Jonathan Majors did not appear to react when the verdict was read in court, but soon after, just minutes after, he learned what the conviction will mean for what was his budding career.
Not every version of me was so pure of heart.
This morning, actor Jonathan Majors' ascent in Hollywood halted as he awaits sentencing. ABC News parent company Disney saying Marvel is no longer moving forward with Majors after a jury found him guilty of domestic violence.
Jonathan, how do you feel right now?
Majors convicted of 2 misdemeanors for recklessly assaulting his then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, in March, fracturing her finger and leaving her ear bloody. He was acquitted of assaulting her intentionally.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. She's unconscious.
Majors called 911 hours after the assault.
She's my ex-partner. Broke up.
Finding Jabari on a closet floor in their apartment, as seen in body camera footage from responding police officers. Hours earlier, Jabari testified she and Majors had been riding home in an SUV when he received a flirtatious text from another woman. Jabari said she snatched the phone.
The text allegedly
Majors tried
from
to
Megan
pry it out
Good.
of her fingers and twisted her arm before she felt a really hard blow across my head. Surveillance video showed Majors hopping out of the car, followed by Jabari. Majors then seen lifting her up and throwing her back inside before running off, Jabari chasing after him. Majors' team insisted Jabari attacked him, but said, "We are grateful the jury found Majors did not intentionally cause any injuries to her." Prosecutors said the assault was the culmination of a manipulative pattern of abuse. Jurors saw text messages that suggested Majors tried to dissuade Jabari from seeking treatment at a hospital for a head injury from a prior incident between them. And they heard a recording of Majors scolding Jabari.
"How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house?"
And instructing her to behave like Michelle Obama.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? How dare you come home drunk? Acting a fool. What's wrong with that? Hold on. Is this the evidence? Is this part of the evidence they used to convict him? So your girl comes home drunk and you tell her, like, look, you can't come home drunk. I'm not with the drama. Is this what they used to convict him?
And Coretta Scott King.
"I'm a great man, a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman."
Hold on, whoa? Hold on. Are you serious? He was criminalized for that? So that was part of the evidence which they used to convict him. Stop calling me. So that was part of the evidence that was used to convict him. Him telling his wife, or I'm sorry, him telling his girlfriend that she needs to tighten up. You got to be kidding me.
Jabari's attorney said in a statement, justice was finally served.
And his lawyer said Majors still has faith in the process and looks forward to fully clearing his name. He's scheduled to be sentenced in February when, guys, he faces up to a year in prison.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Aaron. Let's bring in ABC News chief legal analyst Dan Abrams. Dan, what do you make of the verdict?
It was a split verdict, right? There were 4 charges. He was convicted of 2 of them, but a conviction is a conviction. And basically what this jury was saying is they didn't believe it was intentional. They didn't believe he was trying to hurt her, but his conduct was clearly reckless enough to rise to the level of being a criminal offense.
Are you surprised he didn't testify? Should he have?
Yeah, I mean, look, typically we talk about the fact that criminal defendants don't testify a lot. Case like this, I think it's more likely you see someone testify. But I think one of the reasons he didn't testify is because this is a case where he's thinking about the court of public opinion and the court of law at the same time. So anything he says on the witness stand is not going to be just used against him in a court of law, but could be used against him in the court of public opinion. I think he was betting on the possibility of an all-out acquittal without having to testify. That didn't end up working.
And Dan, as Aaron pointed out, he faces up to a year in prison. How likely is that to happen?
Very unlikely. I mean, look, it's unlikely he'll end up serving any prison time. We're talking about 2 misdemeanors here. Is it possible that there'll be a judge who'll want to throw in some jail time to make a statement, 30 days, 60 days? It's possible. But I think even that is unlikely. The most likely scenario is that he'll get no jail time at all. We shall see.
All right. Dan Abrams, always appreciate your analysis. Thank you.
In an art gallery in the heart of Kampala, abstract paintings by a Ugandan painter hang. The paintings are by Charlene Komontale, a contemporary artist. For a long time, this recognition was reserved for European and American artists, but that is beginning to change.
This is a great time for art from Africa, from Africans, because for many years it was neglected. There was no attention to it. If you've looked at all the waves of art from European art from the Renaissance and all that. And then there was the American period, Jackson Pollock and the like, Basquiat, Andy Warhol, and then the Picassos in Europe again, and then Australia and everywhere, but no Africa until I would say 7-8 years ago.
Art collectors like Linda Mutesi have been at the forefront of ensuring that some African art now remains on the continent. She says for a long time, Africa was losing its valuable pieces to global collectors.
You realize that there's been a sort of black hole of people taking from the continent. They keep taking. And I feel that we're approaching collecting of art as an intervention. We're sort of safeguarding and saying, hey, let's not have this continue. Let's not have the bleeding of these works and all this intellectual property leaving the continent. Let's keep it here. I think that's it majorly. It's us being awakened to the fact that we don't keep anything of our artists here, and now we must.
Lillian Nabulime has been sculpting intricate art pieces for decades.
Art is not only limited to painting and sculpture or ceramics. It's now taking on fashion, film, video. Yeah. And then that means, so the range has grown. So that means then there are people are attracted to have a wide range of artworks they can choose from.
Over the years, African art has evolved, reflecting social, political, and cultural changes on the continent.
Hey, it's great to see people finding value in African art. I'm more of I like the antique. I like the antiques, the helmet masks and the statues. That's what I prefer. So here's some of my collection right here. One of my pieces. So this is a Yoruba Gillette mask. So I have my own collection here that I keep, and I'm always adding to it. But this is what I like. Oh, let me put this back on here. It comes to life. That's awesome. I'm still waiting for it to come to life. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. What else I got over here? Ooh, what is heavy? What is heavy? So this is a Benin bronze from Edo. Again, this is a Benin bronze from Edo. This is heavy. Oh, put this back. There we go. This is Mende Sowe mask. Mende Sowe mask right here. So set that right there. And I got more. I have more. And I have pieces that I left in Africa. And I have some pieces that I brought back. But the majority of my pieces that I get now, I just leave them in Africa. Because it's just sometimes a hassle bringing all that stuff back. But listen, link's in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. But when it comes to the Jonathan Majors situation, I don't want to involve race. And I'm going to tell you why. I know a lot of brothers who have had the same fate of Jonathan Majors who've married or dated other races of women. I mean, non-white women, whether they're Black, Hispanic, Asian. I know brothers that ran into the same issues. So that's why I want to leave race out of it. Yes, I'm a Kappa. But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo and contribute to the convo. Yes, I'm a Kappa. I am a Kappa. So links in the chat. And while we do that, we'll go to a quick commercial. We'll go to a quick commercial break. At Prince Dynast Amir, not expecting a response, just wishing you continue peace, protection, abundant prosperity. Thank you. I received that. It means a lot.
Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, you know, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom. Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out. So guys, that's the trailer to my documentary, In Search of Uhuru. So go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. The good art deals are in Senegal, which where we will be going in May for the Jazz Festival. So we will be going to Senegal. Here we go. So we will be rolling to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival. And this is I should have video of it right here. Where you at? Oh, it's not on here. I was seeing if we had footage of the, I need to update the videos on the itinerary, but I was seeing if we had the video of the Artist Village on here, but I don't have it on here. So yeah, but it's Senegal. But they say you can actually find better art in Mali, which depending on the security situation, I might go to Mali right after Senegal and check out the art there, because they said that the best art is found in Mali and the most affordable. So after Senegal, I might go to Mali. I'm not sure. Just depends on the security situation. But link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the convo, you can. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. If not, I'll wait, a minute or so, and if not, we'll go ahead and close out. No, so Mali won't be an actual tour. I'm just gonna go after Senegal, depending on the security situation. Because I want to go back to Dogon country. So yeah, so the trip to Mali after the jazz festival, it's not part of the tour. I'm just gonna go. But listen, if people want to tag along, they're more than welcome to tag along. I have no problem. If not Mali, after Senegal, I'm more than likely to go to Cote d'Ivoire. And Cote d'Ivoire has some cool art. In fact, hold on, let me let's do this. Hold on one second. Let's do this. Here we go. Listen, so the Igbo, they believe they are white Jews from Israel. So they don't find value in this mask. So you should just give me this mask for next to nothing. Because they think they are white Jews from Israel, the Igbos. So they won't appreciate this mask. So you should just give me this mask for very cheap.
Very cheap. How much?
Very good price, because the Igbos think they are white Jews from Israel. So you should just give me this mask for very cheap.
Yeah, how much?
I
say give me $200.
Give me $100. I'll give you $100 bill right now.
Give me 150.
125.
No, 150.
125.
I said please give me 100.
125. Come on, my friend. Come on. You're on the hot seat. 100. Again, Igbo. They think they are white Jews. They are white Jews. Oh, that is why I want the bag. They are white Jews. So
$1,500.
$100.
You say $1,500.
$100. $100. Come on.
500 000, ça fait 600 000. Hey, $1,000 is 500,000, c'est pas 500 000 francs.
Come on.
Lui veut payer à $120.
My friend.
150 is fine.
125. 125. Okay, 130. Deal. Hey, so they are in Ivory Coast. They're giving away Igbo masks because the Igbos were white Jews from Israel. So you get an Igbo mask now for the low in Ivory Coast. That's for. What's up, Larry? Unmute yourself. Larry, you got to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now, loud and clear.
Oh, brilliant. I just wanted to do this because you did it. This is my mask.
See, that's like a reproduction mask. It's not an antique.
But this one's from Fiji. They did this one in front of me when I asked for a mask.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can tell it's like a reproduction mask. It's not. I like antiques. I don't.
Wait, when you say antiques, you mean like one that was done like 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago or something? Is that
Well, that, but also too, like I want to make, like if I buy a mask, like the first question I have, so if it's an antique, and then also too, if it's like tribal worn. So tribal worn, if they actually use it in the ceremony.
Okay, the ceremony.
So, yeah. So I like antiques.
Yeah, this one was done right in front of me on the day. So yeah, it wouldn't have been worn in the ceremony.
That's something if it's cheap, I'll buy and give it to a gift for somebody. But I wouldn't.
Yeah, but that was it. Yeah, when you did the mask, you just reminded me of the mask I had, because I wanted to do the same thing you're doing, but I wanted to do it in Melanesia. Go to all those places where all the black people were, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, but so far I've only managed Fiji. So that was like one of the things which inspired me to like check out your channel when I saw you actually doing what you were doing. And you were traveling around and you put a business behind it. I thought, wow, yeah, that's cool. I'd love to do that with Melanesia. In regards to the thing you mentioned about what's his name,
Jonathan
Jane Majors.
One second, Mustafa. He know you worth more than 100. You know what? So I know they're making money. I know they probably got that mask for like 60 or 70 bucks. Probably less than that, because they buy it by the container full. But to me, I know the value of it if I wanted to resell it. So like this Ebo mask, I could probably resell it on eBay for like 500 bucks if I wanted to, probably even more. So, I know he probably bought it for cheaper than 130 bucks. Of course he did, but I know the value of it. And then I don't plan on selling any of my my masks. Like I don't plan on selling any of my masks. Like it's part of my like collection. If something were to happen to me, I'll probably put it in the trust, or my family didn't want it, I'll donate it to a museum probably. But I'm not selling none of my art at this time. I'll go ahead, Larry.
How old is the mask?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but it's an older mask. You could tell.
Yeah, I mean, it does look old. I was just curious how old it is. Yeah. The Majors thing, because you said you didn't want to bring race into it, which I found interesting.
I didn't want to, because I know black men who have had similar experiences with non-white women. That's why when people start saying, "Oh, it's because he's with a white woman, is a white chick," I'm like, no, because I know plenty of brothers who've caught hell from sisters, from Asian women, from Hispanic women. So that's why I didn't want to bring race into the issue. I mean, I didn't want to make race. I didn't want to focus on race, the race of the woman.
His career is now over. As well, I don't know if it's over. It's definitely been stalled. His because he lost, like you mentioned, he lost his
Disney and Marvel.
Yeah,
that's big.
Yes, exact. So he's so I don't know if he'll recover from that. If he can ever recover from that, because that's almost like a blacklist now. He'll be blacklisted, but who knows? Could be for a decade, might be even more. It's really going to affect his work. And but it was interesting in the footage that you played, which I've seen before. You see him literally sprinting away from that woman, like he's a runaway slave, or so. He's running for his life or something, and she's chasing him. It's like he kind of sensed the way it looked. It wouldn't look, I don't know, maybe the optics. I don't know, there was something. He was just running away. But then at the end, when he then managed to grab her and then put her in the SUV, that was then used against him. And it's interesting. Did you hear the speech he gave her? I think you might have heard it, where he wanted her to be much more.
She came home drunk. And he was like, "Listen, you're not gonna come home drunk disturbing my peace. I need you to be more professional." Like, what's wrong with that?
But it was interesting, the people that he gave as examples for her to be.
We're all black women.
That was the part that I thought.
You're right. We're all black women. I want you to be like these black women.
Obama, and I was like, really? Did he just say that? That's fascinating. So why did he? I think now he's in a relationship with a black woman, a black actress. I forgot.
Megan Good. But Larry, a lot of these black actors and black actresses who interestingly date, like they have like this pro-black.
Yeah.
Like they play like they're pro-black, but they date like white. So that's probably why he did all that. But yeah, it was funny.
I think it might be like an inferiority complex. Like if you're growing up in the American bubble, you understand that the dichotomy of race. So he knows as a man, as a successful black man, the fact that he's now in a relationship with a white woman, he knows the race thing is going to come up. So it's almost like he's overcompensating by doing the pro-black thing.
Well, you make a great point, because again, in Hollywood, it's like you'll see a lot of black actors and actresses doing a pro-black thing, but they got like white spouses.
And it brings up that old.
It's kind of weird, like.
And it brings up that debate that Black Americans, I've noticed in their spaces, have been having for years. Can you be pro-black and date white? And I always see that debate keep coming up all the time on different channels. It never goes away. So it's an interesting question. Look at the late Sidney Poitier. He did a lot to try and help black people, but his wife was white.
Him and his homeboy.
Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones, Harry Belafonte as well.
Belafonte, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's sad for Jonathan Majors. I think it's very sad, but
Sidney Poitier's first wife was black, though. I think his first wife.
Okay, his first wife was black.
Yeah,
and then he decided to okay, fine. Me personally, I don't have any prejudice against people who.
Yeah, they do. I don't. I don't play vagina and whatever you do in your bedroom, that's your business, not mine.
But one thing you can't say about someone like, say, Barack Obama, you can criticize him, but when he was president, a black American woman was the first lady of America. No. So for all his faults, whatever you say, he had he had that image of a black woman who was there, that powerful. So I guess, but he didn't do it for politics. He fell in love with her long before he became the president.
Right.
So that's it. I mean, I'll be sorry to see Jonathan Majors go. I thought he was a talented actor. I don't know if race played a part in the decision that was made in court.
Well, it's you gotta understand, like New York and LA, they're like ground zero for Me Too. Are you familiar with the Me Too movement? Yeah, so it's ground zero for that. So I think if he was in the South or like a conservative state, he would have been fine.
You're gonna be fine. Okay. What is your view on Me Too? Because Me Too's origins are quite noble. They were very noble.
So the founder of Me Too, she started. So her movement or whatever got hijacked by liberal white women.
Yeah,
which was coming. But I'm guessing it was noble, but then they just weaponized it against men. But if you notice, like they're nowhere to be found now.
Yeah, they've been ignored. But I'm afraid the way they've been treated. Does it now mean if women experience sexual abuse, will they be taken seriously, or will it automatically be viewed as some political move, left-wing move?
Well, no, it's not. I think so. Like the Bill Cosby situation.
Yeah.
So they have the Bill Cosby law in California now that there's no statute of limitation. Like Larry, when you're in college, if you looked at a girl wrong, she could go to the court and accuse you of
I don't know about look. I think it's more.
Well, but I mean, even then, like she could still bring charges on you for whatever. Maybe he was at a party and he was grinding up on her back in college, and she could say that she sexually assaulted you, and that could have been like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I guess that is a big risk.
So California is dangerous, man.
That's a big risk.
In New York,
I think it's a warning.
These black actors are, they push all these liberal policies and liberal politics. So it's kind of like this is what you guys ride for. So
wait, if you don't like the liberal policies, as you call them, what are you? What are your politics? I'm curious.
My politics. I'm not liberal. I'm not conservative. I just do what makes the most sense. I support what makes the most sense.
That makes it even harder for me to understand what your politics are.
Yeah, I just call it. I call it like I see it.
And so the Majors thing, you see it as what politically? What do you see that as?
It just depends on the. It just depends on the actual. I mean, what's the word I want to use? Like the actual, like the policy. It just depends on what's on the table. But I call it like I see it.
But you believe he's innocent of the
absolutely, absolutely. Jonathan Majors, absolutely. But again, he's in a liberal city like New York.
New York.
And so it's just it happens. But again, this is what they support. This is what they rally behind.
Nah, that's not. But maybe he'll come back anyway.
You have to understand, New York is where the. Are you familiar with the Central Park Five?
Yes.
Yeah, so New York, that's home. The Central Park Five.
Is that a good thing? Because what happened to the Central Park Five was bad.
It was a bad thing.
Yeah, and Donald Trump.
They keep pointing the finger at Donald Trump because of the But at the end of the day, everybody behind railroading those boys, they were all liberals. They were all Democrats. The DA, everybody. So it's like they continue to point the finger at Donald Trump for some reason. But Donald Trump wasn't a judge. He wasn't a lawyer. He wasn't part of the police force. He was just a rich real estate billionaire.
Well, it's the fact that he won't apologize and acknowledge his mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't apologize for it, but at the end of the day, he wasn't the one that hit the gavel. That had the gavel on his head.
But he doesn't accept
he wasn't the one that arrested him.
Yeah, all those people were bad what they did, but he doesn't.
They were all Democrats, but no one wants to talk about that.
I guess you know more about what's going on in the American bubble, because to me, I see the Democrats and the Republicans, they're not really that different to me. I see them as the same. They only use people to get what they want, to get the votes. They don't really care about Black Americans. They just need your votes, so they'll tell you what you want so they can get your votes, and then they use it. I mean, in the 1980s, under Ronald Reagan, Republicans, I mean, it wasn't like a haven for Black Americans back then, from what I gather, you know, and then I think after him, you had the vice president.
Yeah, Bill Clinton.
What's his name?
Yeah,
no, before Clinton, you had
Bush. Yeah.
So you had 2 decades of republicanism in America dominating before Clinton came along. I mean, was that like a good period for Black Americans? I don't know.
You know, Kyla would know more than me, because I was young. I was just, I was in elementary school, so I wasn't really paying attention to it.
What, you were in school? That's the same period as me.
I was in elementary school.
I was in school as well, primary school.
Okay, well,
I always assumed
I was in elementary school, like kindergarten.
So that's
second grade, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I remember
was in
LA
primary.
Ryan. Oh, here we go. Rodney King, that was LA.
Rodney King, that was LA. Yeah, that was in 92.
Yeah.
92. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see them as being friends to Black Americans. They just use you for your votes. You know, but you believe that you'll be financially much more empowered under the Republicans. Maybe you're right. Unfortunately, things haven't gone your way. You didn't. Your guy, what's his name? The ex-football player, who was running in Atlanta.
Oh,
he played for
Walker.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well for him in the end. He didn't win.
It was close though.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to do it.
You know, it was interesting. Like people were voting split. Like people were voting. They weren't even voting split ballot. Like they were vote the Republican governor. They wouldn't vote for neither Walker or I forgot the name of the Democratic senator that was running against them. They wouldn't vote. They just wouldn't vote. Because I mean, the governor he blew Stacey Abrams out.
And part of me thinks, do you think his son might have had something to do with him not getting?
Yeah, I think towards the end, the son with the whole abortion thing, that definitely.
Yeah.
That put the nail in the coffin. But if it wasn't for his son or the abortion drama, he would have won. I think he would have won.
I thought he was going to do it. I thought we were going to see on your channel you celebrating this.
Oh yeah, we would have celebrated. Yeah, we definitely would have celebrated.
Celebrated.
Because I mean, he did good. Like, and Fitzgerald was actually on the live stream with me, and my boy LaVelle I went to high school with.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do too bad in the debate. He held his own against Warnock. Is it Raphael Warnock? I think his name is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do too bad. He actually held his own in the debate against Raphael Warnock. Like people thought it was going to be terrible. Like it was going to be embarrassing, but he actually held his own. It wasn't too bad.
But in the end, the white folk and the Black folk went for the Democrat.
Yeah, but like I said, if it wasn't for the abortion issue and his son sabotaged him, he would have won. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to Fitzgerald. The Mr. Major situation is nothing new. Black men with white women, along with their unjust ICE system, have rarely had a great outcome for Black men.
Well, one could ask, how did Cosby get away with it for so long? Because Cosby did it to Black and white women, apparently, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The way you say allegedly.
Allegedly. But honestly, and I want to be very careful with my words. I think, let me be, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. When the women didn't get what they wanted, I think they were scorned, and then they went after them.
Wow.
Because they were all expecting, like, opportunities in Hollywood. And when they didn't get that, I think that's, they were scorned and went after them. That's my opinion. Again, we don't want to, minimize the pain of sexual assault, but my opinion, because when you go to when you go to a married man's room at 9 to 10 at night for acting lessons, I mean,
okay, yeah.
I mean,
but that maybe that's the thing we need to take into consideration with consent, because I was listening to some documentary.
And the outcome, like, okay, so they're expecting opportunity in Hollywood, to be stars, and for Bill, who was, I mean, you have to stand for a while. Bill Cosby was the most powerful black man in Hollywood.
Yes, he was.
So having access to him and what that brings, and he's married. So they had ulterior motives, the women, and then they were opportunists. There we go. They were opportunists. And when those opportunities didn't come, I just think they acted out. But again, I could be wrong. I want to be very careful. We do not.
That's a lot of women going back to the 60s, 70s and stuff.
But it's Bill Cosby.
But that thing he had that he would put in the drink, which became quite legendary, where women would suddenly feel woozy and
per him, they knew he was doing it, right?
I think they knew after the fact. They'd wake up completely.
No, but I think he told them that they were going to give him something. I think he told them that they were going to give him something.
He wouldn't say that he would knock them out. He said something like it would relax them or something. He would phrase it in a certain way. But then once they took it,
it will make you relax.
Yeah, and they were completely knocked out. And then
I'm not saying I'm not saying they were all lying. Torelli talks. I was not saying they were all lying, but again, married man, 10 o'clock at night, private acting lessons.
Yeah. You need to be. I mean,
just being professional. Does that make sense to you?
No, it wouldn't.
It's like me telling women, listen, meet me at my office at 10 o'clock at night, so we could go over the sales process and role play. Handling objections at 10 o'clock at night. Meet me at my office.
Yeah, a bit suspect.
I mean, it's kind of suspect. I'm not saying they're all lying, and again, I want to be very careful. But it just, to me, looks
very suspicious. Yeah, and that's the problem with those.
At the end of the day, he was exonerated.
Yes, he was. He was locked up for a bit, and then he was.
Yeah, because I guess the case in Pennsylvania, I think the lady took a plea or something happened, and they wrongfully locked him up.
So now he's out.
Yeah, so now he's out.
And that puts a big dent in what you were talking about, that whole limitations things, the statute of limitations.
Well, because of him, they changed the law. So like in California, I don't think there's a statute of limitations. There's not a statute of limitations. Oh, let me see. It's called, like they call it the Bill Cosby. Well, they don't call it the Bill Cosby law, but it
But I've always found it's difficult. How are you going to prove that 20 years ago you were sexually abused or sexually assaulted by a particular person? It's very hard to prove that in a court of law. What evidence do you have? It just comes down to your word against theirs. it's very difficult to get that justice. So I don't know how it's done. It's
Let me see.
Sure.
Limitations, California, sexual assault. There we go. Hold on, let me see. Here, let me see. No, let me play this video. But I wonder if he goes into detail in regards to like, hold on, let's play this video real quick.
Statute of limitations for rape in California. Well, there is no statute of limitations. My name is Gurjit Pander. I'm a senior attorney here at the Nieves Law Firm. The statute of limitations is just that. It's a statute that limits the ability of the state to file an action or file a criminal action against somebody based on what type of crime is there. In California, rape does not have any statute of limitations, meaning if you allegedly commit a rape today, you can be charged with that crime anytime before your death. Please call us here at the Nieves Law Firm if you have any questions, and we can help you navigate this complex area of law.
Yeah, but like I said, they recently changed it from my understanding.
Wow. And that's specifically for the act of
because like in the majority, yeah, because in the majority, in fact, in the majority of states, the only thing that doesn't have a statute of limitations, from my understanding, is murder. Like if you kill somebody, it doesn't matter. Like if you're found guilty 40, 50 years from now, you can go to jail.
Do you have double jeopardy? Is that real, or is that just like a movie thing? Double jeopardy.
No, double jeopardy. What's that again?
I think it's you can't be tried for the same crime twice. So, like I'll see it in a movie where a woman kills her husband, and somehow she does something similar to that, and she can't be judged. She can't be tried for that same crime, even though the police find evidence that she was guilty for killing her husband, because she got exonerated the first time. She can't be taken to court again in regards to that same case and tried. Double jeopardy. Because I don't know if it's true, but I've seen it in like Hollywood movies. So she'll kill her husband. They'll investigate, try and take her to court. She gets off.
Here we go. Let me play this real quick. Here we go. I found it. Found something right here. See what she says.
Hi, I'm Jill Stanley, and I am excited today because Governor Jerry Brown of California has he has signed a bill into law abolishing the statute of limitations for rape. What is the statute of limitations? Well, statute of limitations applies to civil cases and criminal cases. In criminal cases, it's the time period in which someone can be charged with a crime. In a civil case, it's a time period in which someone can be sued, a lawsuit filed. But what's going on in California and what we're seeing going on across the country is amazing. And what has spurred all this? It is Bill Cosby, which is almost unbelievable. Bill Cosby, who we now know has been accused by over 50 women of sexually assaulting them, is only being held accountable in one state, in Pennsylvania. That is because in the other states, the statute of limitations barred all the other cases. So what are these states doing? Now they're responding to that. So we can actually say thank you to Bill Cosby, because now in California, the statute of limitations is gone. That means it is like murder. You can be charged with rape or sexual offense at any point. In Nevada, they added 10 years to their statute of limitations. So now it's 20 years. In Colorado, they added 10 years to their statute of limitations. So again, like Nevada, 20 years. And this is all they say because of Bill Cosby. So he has done terrible things, but his victims are speaking out and they're changing laws, and this is amazing. So really good job, California. Really good job, Nevada. Really good job, Colorado. I am so thankful for this. Rape victims of sexual offenses are so pleased and so supported now. And I'm going to tell you, predators, time no longer on your side.
See, they called it the Bill Cosby law. Now, all these perverts running around in Hollywood, they made Bill Cosby the example. And I'm not giving Bill Cosby a pass. I mean, by all means, I'm not saying Bill Cosby's an angel. But all these perverts running around Hollywood, like I said, they call it the Bill Cosby law.
The Bill Cosby law. Hmm.
So just imagine Larry, you're 80 freaking years old in California, and you're accused of rape from when you're in college back 60 years ago. Like, how does that work as far as evidence?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I just, like, how does that work?
Like, I mean, the guy might be innocent, but he might be absolutely guilty of sexual assault.
Right,
but it still comes down to that question you asked: how do you prove it? How do you get the evidence for it? I don't understand. How does that work in a court where you can provide evidence that when he was in his 20s, he raped that woman? How can you get evidence for that? You can't. It's just maybe if you get witnesses, but how do you know those witnesses are telling the truth? I don't know. It's a very complicated thing. Or you can even think about it for another type of crime, armed robbery. You say 20 years ago, you saw this guy commit armed robbery. He was part of the crew that broke into a store where the store owner got killed. What did they use for evidence? Well, he was the guy who was driving the car.
Well, again, if someone's killed, then yeah, he'll be an accessory.
But how do they prove it, though? They can't prove he was there. They haven't got footage. It's just eyewitness. Or maybe one of the armed robbers.
Somebody snitches on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If somebody snitches,
snitches on him. Yeah.
But that could happen. Couldn't that happen for the rape thing? If somebody says, yeah, this guy when he was in his 20s and they snitch on him, he did rape.
But they would have to be in the actual bedroom or watching the act. Like, I don't.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be good enough if they said, I saw him take her into the room and she was intoxicated and she was all over the place and he took it. They can't use that as evidence. It's so hard, but it is a possible crime to happen. Someone could be raped 20 years ago and decide to come forward. But how do you prove it? I don't know. Part of me is happy for what they did in California, but then part of me is like suspicious. I'm like, it could cause problems for people as well. I don't know. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction was to look at it as a good thing, but then when we talk about it, I get nervous because I see the flaws. There could be flaws in it, and there could be an injustice. So, like, some people think Bill Cosby's innocent.
Yeah.
Even though I love what the man did, I don't believe he's innocent. I believe he did take advantage of certain women over the decades. I believe he did. And I think he got away with it for too long. That drink thing, spiking the drinks, I think he did it a lot and he took advantage. Even though I like what he did as a professional, I think, yeah, he is guilty. He is. Jonathan Majors, on the other hand, he's innocent. But
yeah, he's innocent. Oh,
he's not.
Yeah, he's innocent. Jonathan Majors. That's a travesty.
Yeah. Do you know if he's going to appeal? Has there been any information about an appeal? Or
I'm sure I would have already him. And this is about Bill Cosby. So this is hold on one second. 9 women sued Bill Cosby accusing him of sexual assault. This is 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee these cases are probably like from 40 or 50 years ago.
Yeah, they probably would be. They probably would be. I have seen more recent cases where the women,
I also want to ask you before you go about this case involving Bill Cosby, because there are now 9 women suing him in a state of Nevada. They're accusing him of sexual assault. Cosby has denied any wrongdoing in the allegations against him. His spokesperson says the women suing are being motivated by media attention and greed. What can you tell us about this and also the Nevada law that's essentially allowing them to come forward?
So this Bill Cosby case has really been a seminal case for a number of different things. And one of those is challenging the idea about statutes of limitations in sexual assault cases. Traditionally, the only crime, not civil case, but the only crime that has no statute of limitations is murder. And the idea being that if you kill someone, you should look over your shoulder for the rest of your days, because the wicked man fleeth when none pursue, I think is the saying. Wow. So you have to always wonder as a murderer if you're going to be charged. But in the last decade or so, the trend has been to expand that, not just in sexual assault criminal cases, but sexual assault civil cases. And most recently in New York, they did exactly that. And I have some of these cases, these Child Victims Act cases. And here's the challenge. Yes, it is a good idea to open up these windows, but once you file your lawsuit, you have a new, fresh challenge, which is finding evidence, finding witnesses. It's the reason statute of limitations exists, is that evidence fades, witnesses die, the information disappears. And at some point, it becomes really, really difficult to bring these cases, even if you're allowed to bring them.
Wicked man fleeth if none pursue. That's the quote.
Yeah, I can't tell you where it's from. It could have been from anything. I don't know.
All right.
You always learn something when you're here.
We're gonna have to Google that.
Certainly do. Thanks.
Yeah, again, like where the evidence, DNA. Go ahead, Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman, unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Mr. Sandman, we can't hear you. Log off and come back in. All right, guys, link to the chat room if you want to call in after the conversation. Link is in the chat room. So on the rate of how this is going, Bill Cosby is going to be dealing with this for the rest until he dies.
Yeah. But then part of me thinks he is partly guilty, so it makes sense that he'll be dealing with it till. I don't think he's innocent. I think he did do bad things, and I think it's caught up with him. But then they mentioned something very interesting in that video you played: sexual abuse of kids.
Yeah.
When they're younger, they can't protest, but when they get older, they manage to get the courage to talk about when that adult sexually abused them 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I think that's great that they finally do that. But like I said, they mentioned it, evidence is difficult to find.
Mr. Sandman, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, about that Bill Cosby case, I was hearing stories that Bill Cosby was in the process of attempting to purchase one of those major networks prior to all of the allegations.
I don't think that's true. I think those are rumors.
Just rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's interesting being that that his Bill Cosby show was a huge hit in the 80s and 90s, and that catalog probably had to be worth close to $1 billion. That would have been enough capital for him to mortgage that and maybe buy a large interest in one of the networks. But it's a lot of rumors in it. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that we don't have any black celebrities who really own major networks outside of Oprah. But her network really isn't that major right now. But with owning television networks and things like that, media networks, you can utilize that power to really influence a lot of people.
No, you're right. I agree. We definitely need our own media networks, and I don't know how that's going to work with. Well, I don't know if Revolt is technically black owned, but since Diddy, I don't think he's no longer CEO of it, or he dropped out. I wonder how that's going to work with Revolt. But that was a black network, and I guess TV One is still out there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it was like we see Diddy getting into a whole lot of legal trouble right before this. He gets out of the Revolt deal. I'm not saying that it's a scandal or anything like that or some type of conspiracy theory, but it's interesting that his legal issues start to pop up right when he's taking Revolt to the next level. Is there another partner in Revolt attempting to purchase that network?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with it.
Yeah. So that Jonathan Majors guy, he's done. He's a amazingly talented actor. It's too bad that his career is pretty much over before it even gets started. And yeah, I don't know. all the details of the story, but they said, would he hit some girl or something?
Allegedly assault, allegedly. But he was running from the girl.
Man, that's too much.
Yeah, so, but yeah, we appreciate it. Well, we'll go ahead and close out, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty, search for Haru. Peace.